Hello, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Squash star Georgina Kennedy. I want to show that you can compete at an elite level with ulcerative colitis. England's former Harvard University star, who used to train in the same clubs as Dina, Smith, and Emma Raducanu, exclusively reveals how she made it to the top of squash despite having an inflammatory bowel disease. British squash star Georgina Kennedy never takes the smaller delights in life for granted. 8 years ago, she was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis while studying at Harvard University. The irritable bowel disease (IBS) made even a simple walk challenging, as she never knew when she might need to dash to the toilet. The condition is physically and mentally exhausting for anyone, let alone someone who harbors ambitions of becoming a professional athlete. The nature of the disease is that there is no cure for it right now, Kennedy explained to Olympics. And until recently, I wasn't on the correct medication, which meant that for months at a time I had extremely bad flare-ups. I couldn't go on a walk, couldn't meet friends for coffee, and could be locked away in my house the whole day because I couldn't be more than a few meters from a bathroom. So having to deal with that got pretty debilitating. There was so much anxiety. The diagnosis rocked Kennedy, for whom life had always revolved around playing sport. Growing up, she was an age group running national champion in the 1500 played football at Crystal Palace FC, and was scouted by Kent Cricket and Rounders England as a potential star. The multi-skilled athlete trained alongside future 200-meter world champion Dina Smith at Blackheath and Bromley Harriers, and shared facilities with tennis ace Emma Raducanu at Park Langley Club. That multi-sport background developed my coordination, strength, and power, all those skills and components that are fundamental but not specific to squash. I think that helped prevent burnout and a more holistic approach to life, she notes. But after a plantar fasciitis injury put an end to her athletics career, the Beckenham athlete put all her focus into squash, a sport that gave her the greatest happiness. The injury actually came as a relief to me because it meant I didn't have to race anymore, which I really struggled with as a young girl. I still remember being so nervous weeks before a race. So the injury was a relief, which is not a healthy relationship. I drifted away from the sport, and my coaches weren't thrilled, but it was clear to me that squash was the path for me to be happy. Co-captaining Harvard and winning Commonwealth Games. Progress was quick, and after making the quarterfinals of the 2015 World Junior Squash Championships, she lifted the European Under-19 title in Prague. Her achievements were rewarded with a scholarship to Harvard University, where she co-captained the Crimson women's team to victory in the prestigious Howe Cup and was awarded the Ritchie Award, one of the greatest individual honors in all of college squash, despite receiving an IBS diagnosis during her time as a student in Massachusetts. Kennedy showed impressive resilience to deliver a statement victory in 2022. Competing in Birmingham, England in 2022, she beat Canada's Holly Naughton in the final to become the first Englishwoman to win a Commonwealth Games squash singles title. Despite the enormity of her achievement, it quickly became a bittersweet moment. Dealing with personal grief in the run-up to the event and not giving her body an adequate chance to recover after meant she suffered a major IBS flare-up that left the champion spending days inside while she recovered. The medication stopped working, and ever since then I've been having symptoms almost every day, she said. So a lot of the time in training, and before every match I would spend the majority of the warm-up being anxious that something might happen and I'd need to run off. Fortunately, it never did. I don't know if it's the adrenaline that kicks in, but I've never had to sacrifice a game. Once I'm in the zone, I'll be fine, but before that it is very anxiety-provoking. Georgina Kennedy's mental struggles with IBS. Being a non-visible condition, Kennedy was under significant mental pressure not to show her rivals when she was struggling. I obviously don't want my opponents knowing kind of what state I was in, and this cause was not good for my mental health, she admitted. No one sees what happens behind closed doors, and there have been times where I've thought that playing with this condition was unsustainable. Even during preparation, I can't focus on the squash because there's just other things that are getting in the way. But everyone's got stuff that they struggle with, and a lot of the time you can't see it. That's just sport, isn't it? You put yourself on the line for people to see, and you have to find ways to deal with it. Happily, Kennedy can manage her symptoms more effectively thanks to a recent breakthrough. A new treatment plan at the end of 2024 greatly reduced the effects of her condition, allowing her to live a somewhat normal existence. My new doctor, Dr. James Lee, has completely transformed my life. I am completely symptom and pain-free and don't have any anxieties when I'm walking around or meeting friends or anything, she said with a smile that epitomizes relief. I've been put on infusions again, so every 6 to 8 weeks I go to the Royal Free Hospital in London and get an infusion. It's just been amazing and I feel healthy. It's allowed me to live a completely normal life with normal bowel movements, and I'm so grateful for that. The debilitating flare-ups still happen if I'm not being treated correctly or there has been some external stress, and that is still very isolating. But fortunately, I've been able to come out the other side of it, and it's much more manageable now, looking ahead to LA 2028. At 28 years and currently ranked number 8 in the world, Kennedy is well placed to compete at LA 2028, where squash will make its Olympic debut. But while competing there would be a dream come true for the youth athlete from Beckenham, she knows that she must control that internal emotion in the hope of representing her hometown, nation, and athletes with IBS on the most visible stage. It's honestly amazing, and every time I think about it, there's so much emotion that comes with it, she said. The nerves of what's going to happen in 4 years, who's going to be on the team. Everyone has that long-term goal, and to see how spectacular squash can be. There are many people going through similar battles to me, but you find ways. Reflecting on it, I'm definitely proud of myself that I kept training and being the best squash player I can be. Please subscribe the channel. Share this with a friend. Thank you.